Hey, y'all. All right, getting down to this. Now, let's start. Ideation. Let's get to it. Ideation and brainstorming. So, welcome everybody to Major AI Mindset. This is our school course that is here to get us all into the right mindset of of how you can find yourself to be positioned and reduce your anxiety about your future. First, we're going to start off with a little bit of ideation and brainstorming. So, in our last video, we talked about planning. Ideation was probably the first step we got to go through. You know, those times when you're like, oh, wow, that's an interesting thought. Oh, I got an idea. You know, those times? Some of you may not, or some of you may not have an original idea. This is where you understand and learn how to get one. So what are we going to cover in this? Understanding the ideation process. Techniques for generating ideas. Problem solution frameworks. Validating your idea. Ooh. Warning. Okay, so this is going to be the most important video. So you're going to hear that from all of these things. But at the end of the day, you never know what you may miss. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like it's the most important video, but if who's talking more in flow kind of state, it's not like I write out a script, even though this transcribes what I say, but it's not like I write out a script. So I may refer to one thing in one video that connects to something else in two videos ahead or the next video or so. So it may take one sentence that may link everything together and one sentence that doesn't link everything together, and you may have to just request questions answered. But at the end of the day, if you're here, be here for a reason. And if you don't want to listen to me too much, watch it at 2x. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut that down. You need to watch me at like 1.7. Now, understanding the ideation process, all right? Let's understand, what is the ideation process? You know, the things like, man, I got an idea, or whose harebrained scheme was this? You know, you get up in the morning and think about things, but unfortunately, you've never been anywhere in your life, so you don't know how things are really done in other places, so you can't bring many things together. And that's the point of sitting down with an idea. You know, you hear those things called think tanks, and you're like, people get paid to think? These are how these crazy ideas come up. So the understanding, this is how you get great ideas. This is how they are formed. You bounce them off of people rather than just keep them in your head. The connection between the curiosity and the innovation. That is it. Okay, so on one sense, when we talk about curiosity, on one sense, we're like, why can't they have an elevator there, right? Why can't we get upstairs faster? Versus the other side, damn, the water is rising. So we need to put our house, either build it up or put it on stilts. You know what I mean? So innovation is because there is a need. Curiosity is mostly because you have an ego. A lot of times curiosity businesses don't work. Innovation businesses do. Overcoming mental blocks. These are big things that I had to overcome. Mental blocks. You're stupid. You're not smart. This isn't done by people like you. Oh, you're a girl. Oh, you didn't graduate. Oh, you're not, just all the things. I can't understand you. English is the first language. All these weird, repeat it now with me, weird blocks that fuck you all up. Let's get those things out of the way. We'll talk about that. That comes with understanding who you are. So we're going to talk about certain techniques for generating leads, right? Brainstorming with a mind map. I just say use ChatGPT. There's tons of mind map programs out there, tons. And you can just speak, But at the end of the day, if you're going to be paying $20 a month for ChatGPT or $200 a month for ChatGPT, use it fully, and it can make mind maps. The scamper method. That is another way to generate ideas by combining things, adapting things, modifying things, put to other use. You understand what that means, folks? So you may have an idea that works for something else, but let me tell you what happened. How I had a patent that was that I didn't plan it. So I had come back from Dubai. I'm in Los Angeles. My friends by the Hollywood Hemp Museum, and they're doing weekend farmers markets. So everybody pretty much comes with their weed and weed stuff, and it's their wares. So I show up from Dubai, fresh from Wild in the Moon. So my mind is all about juices and cold pressed juice. Turns out I get asked to do some cold pressed juices, and I felt that I could just mix it with THC or some type of crystalline and make some medicated juices. I had this concept called a juice dispensary. Okay, go ahead. Anyhow, as things would have it, procrastination sets in. It's time to do the deed. I don't have enough time to make the juice. So I switch and make Puerto Rican ices. What I did was get some syrups. I got some crystalline, medicated the syrups. Now I have $1 piraguas that I'm selling for $9 and $10. Guy comes on the line. I swear he looks like the feds. Comes up to me, compliments me on my business acumen and how lean the model was, and that I could patent this. And I'm like, patent it? How? Pretty much this way. Take one thing that works and put to another use. Put to another use. That's big, folks. Because if you're really slick, you'll find something that works and bring it to some place where it's not. And that's how you get a patent. Or a, what do they call it? A new use patent. Because I took it out that worked in one area and I brought it to something else. So that's how I stumbled into that. Eliminate, reverse. So this right here is a method that uses all of these ideas. So Scamper's really cool. It's like combine the ideas. Let's see what we get. And you can use ChatGPT for this, folks. Do it with ChatGPT. Don't do it with your girlfriend unless she knows you really well, or your boyfriend unless he knows you really well. But either which way, all three of y'all do it with ChatGPT. Have a threesome with it. All right. So then you eliminate or you reverse. That means if you see a process going from left to right, guess what? We're going to the sandpit and we're going to go from right to left. We take it back the other way. Okay. Like give your mind a different way to think. Because too many people out there are trying to outthink people versus just thinking different. All right. And then use this to come up with about 10 ideas a day. Practice, because certain times your ideas may be good right off rip. And certain times it's like, oh, it may need a little work. All right. So problem solution frameworks. All right. Problem solution frameworks. Say it with me. Problem solution framework. What does that sound like? It means if you have a problem, it takes you to the solution. These are different frameworks to get you there. Identifying real world problems. That's always a good thing. As me being a native of from Caribbean culture, a native of the Caribbean, obviously rising water and is something of concern to us, right? Those are the real world problems for us. There's so many things out there that are real world problems, and I don't want to sound insensitive by acting like certain things are real world problems, and they're not. But trust me on this. There's many, many real world problems out there, and if you and I both look at it, we can find it. Like, look, I don't think plastic straws are real world problems. Sorry, folks. That's just it. I'm stepping out and I'm saying that. Using firsthand experiences to find pain points. Definitely. That's a good one. I'll tell you guys this. If you are going to be an entrepreneur, the best person that you can sell to is yourself 5 years ago. Because that's the person that you're supposed to know. So using firsthand experiences to find pain points. Something recently happened with me. I had family member pass away. Their situation wasn't really set up right. No will, no trust. And then all of the things that ended up transpiring from that was all craziness. So building a solution for that, so that way something like that never happens again to the next people, is something that I could lend some real world experience and pain points to and about. And that's why I would build something like that, something for athletes. I was a former athlete, so I understand the pain points. It comes from an athlete in that particular sport, coming from that particular angle. So me building something for them in that angle just might make the most sense. Creating simple and scalable solutions. Remember these three letters, MVP, okay? Most viable product. So that means if it needs AI in it, but it can work without AI, don't put it in. The thing is this, normally people aren't as complicated as you think they are. And your project most of the time can be broken down into smaller steps. Every step that you take, I'm sure it can be broken down into 3 steps. You learn how to do that. That, my friends, is the key to this whole thing. Breaking down those steps, thinking like an engineer, and automating those steps, putting them back together. So validating your stupid ass idea. Gotta love it. So that was one of the things that were very fearful to me and why I failed at a bunch of my businesses first. Because I would keep my ideas to myself, or I would talk shit about them and never really talk like strategically about them and take it out to market, and the energy wouldn't be right, or I wouldn't do enough marketing first and stuff. But but then I would see that my ideas would be validated. But by that time, I'm like out of energy, feeling just all discombobulated, and probably end up moving on to something else. And that's the problem when you don't validate your ideas before you go to the market. You can actually play a really, real weird head game with yourself. So the importance of testing before you build. I remember I built this one product called a gazebo actually, and I realized that the area and the area I was building it in wasn't the right area for that type of material. So it was really important that I probably tested it before I did that, and I would have avoided money wasting. Yeah, and getting real feedback from potential users, not your boys, not the people who can't afford your shit. If I'm selling the shit for 5 grand, why am I gonna ask somebody that I gotta lend money to go buy Chinese food? That don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Or somebody that I know whose rent is less than what I'm selling my thing for. So why would I ask them? You got to ask the people that can afford it. And if you don't have those people in your network, find them. Put up a poll, put up a hashtag, find them, use the keywords that they jump on and test them. Or go out and go sit amongst them. But you're gonna need real feedback. Like if I'm building a kids product, I need to go talk to kids and parents. This is why it's really good for you to focus on your first product to someone that is 5 years younger than you, because it's something that you're still relatively close to, so you can validate the idea. You know if the music is relevant or not, right? Surveys, landing pages, and beta testers. These are also great ways. So surveys, You know, you're already on Instagram all the time. Take your next 30 days and just put surveys, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, and get real feedback. You can put up a simple landing page. I just realized that my proposal, every time I look to share it, it asks, do I want to share it to a web page? Like make a real web page just for the share of proposal. And I was like, wow. So there's a lot of ways that you can get testing and info back from people. So while we go through all of this, I'm definitely going to go through some of that so we could get some real world data. So summary. So the recap of the key points now. Now say it with me, folks. Understanding the ideation process. Techniques for generating ideas. All right, so you understand the process, which is no idea is a bad idea. So just let them flow. Let them flow. And then, you know, the techniques that we said, you like scamper. And so, you know, the problem solution framework. Always look, yo, if you are trying to win, if you are trying to win, if you are trying to build a generational business, if you really are trying to do this, always look for solutions, for problems, not solutions for your ideas, solutions for the problems. And then validate that idea, because that solution may suck. Oh gosh. Everybody's always trying to figure out, what am I drinking? How are you losing all of this weight? How are you slimming? Because I fast and I eat healthy. I don't take anything. The mindset for success, folks. Like, look, if this thing was easy, everybody would do it. If it was easy to get to the mindset for success, everybody would have it. But success leaves clues. Remember that, folks. But you have to get the right mindset to pay attention to it. All right, so what's the action steps? Generate and validate these ideas, right? MVPs or polls. That's what you want to get. Get to your MVP as soon as possible and poll. And the MVP can be just something as a simple yes or no poll, right? You want to have the mindset for success. And that's what we're talking about here. We don't all have that. You know, and even if you have the mindset for success, the mindset for success, sometimes you just need a big homie to get on that ass, and you need a system. So remember, yo, there are no bad ideas in brainstorming, just underdeveloped ones, bro. So innovation starts with curiosity. Keep asking, what is it? Now let's get to work.